Hi friends, Colleen here. I just want to share this card with you today. I found my inspiration for this card was from one that from Mixed Up Craft by Sam Clayton. I just thought it was stunning, but we didn't really have a stamp set that would work with it. So when this one came along, Spruced Up, I just fell in love with it and I thought, right, that's it. It's perfect. So I bought it and we'll be using the house and this little tree and this larger tree today. The original one I did was here and I put Happy Days on it. We made this in a class the other day. I've also used our diamond stickles here to add a little bit of glitter and shimmer to it. I hope you can see that onto the card to give it just that little bit of a something something. But anyway, that's what I've done. So let's get started. I'll show you what to do. The other parts of the element of this card today we're also using to create it. I'm actually making a Merry Christmas card. Please don't judge. I just think that this was a beautiful card and I thought, why not get the jump on Christmas because I was so late last year. And I'm going to turn this into a Christmas card, but you can have it as however you want. And that's using the Say It In Style stamp set, which is out of the annual catalogue. This one here is the 3-inch shaker window, and that's the one I used to cut the hole out. Now the hole, what I've used to create the stencil is our stencil sheet. Now as you can see, it's really very thick. I don't know if you call it a vellum or a parchment or something, but it's called stencil sheet. And there it is there. You get 4 sheets in the pack. It's 9 inches by 12 inches and I just love it. And you can cut it down, you can cut out whatever you want. As you can see in the picture here, they've just cut it on the Cricut and made images like that. I've just cut circles out of mine today. Now the size that I have cut for the stencil sheet, and here it is here, already cut. This one's been used. It is reusable. You just wipe it clean after you've done. Give it a little bit of a wash. And that measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So that's the size there. Now we're using a standard card today, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Our matting piece is, now I've gone for a smaller size. I wanted to have that fine, I wanted the larger white border and a finer edge here. So what I've got here is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch, and that's for the front of our card. And our matting, our panel for the front that we're going to be working on is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now we're going to take our little sheet. Now with the ladies the other day, when we made them, I've got some here I'll show you. When we were using it the other day, this one's stuck together, I'll pull it apart. What I showed them to do was to get a little bit of adhesive and pop on the back. And then you dab it on your arm, and you only want a tiny little bit, and that will hold it into place. But I wanted to see if the washi tape worked, and it does. So you don't have to stick this down. This will work just as well. So you line it up, because you want to completely cover all your white pieces, except for the hole in the middle. And we'll just put that on like that. Now this looks pretty messy, but it's not. That's quite a fine thing. Now the next thing we need to use is a post-it note. Now I got this one here from the supermarket. The reason I like this one, now when you take a post-it note off, if you pull it carefully, you can keep it straight. If you rip up, it will curl. I liked it because it had this big, deep sticky note section here, which the others don't. They're quite small. Now I'm just going to cut a portion of this off. We don't need that much. So I'll put that aside for a minute. Now we're going to cut a wavy line. You can cut it however you want. You can have it as big or as deep as you want. That's your choice. And that can go in the bin. That extra bit. Oh, it's stuck to me. There we are. Now we're just going to lay this on across the top, like so. Now the ink I'm using today is Glacier. The cardstock is Glacier, but you can use whatever colours you like. Samantha did hers in a multitude of colours, and it was in December that she made them. And it was just, oh look, I just thought they were just so beautiful, and I really wanted to recreate them. But when I found this stamp set, I thought perfect stamp set for it. So we're just going to gently work our ink in around the edge and around the top. Try and keep the centre of it as white as possible. And then we're going to move this down. Now on my original card, I'll show you in a minute. So that lifts up. See how you get that beautiful line? And then you can change this. Now I'm going to come down quite low, because what I did last time, I went up a bit high, and you can see there's a blue line running in through there, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to be white and clear. So I'm bringing this down to the bottom so that I know then my house will stamp directly in the middle and be fine. Because I just thought this was stunning, this little house. So now we're just going to add our, come around the edges, because you want to, you've got to denote the actual the shape that you're sponging. People need to see that it is a circle and not just fresh air. Because I had one lady doing it, and she just did the lines, and when she took it off, it was just lines on a page. It didn't quite make any sense. So then she realised that what she needed to do, excuse me, so then we'll just rub that across there to pick up the edge. We'll pull that off. Now we're just going to add some to the bottom. Oh gosh, I hope you can't hear the washing machine. Sounds like a jet taking off. And that's it, that's all you need to do. Now we'll take this piece and we're going to place it back on up the top. Now I have got my little stamp already. Now I use the single one. There is a double one in the pack, wherever I've just put it, right here. There is a double tree line, but it's not as easy to, I don't know, it just didn't work for me, where this one made it easy for me to get different gradients of trees that I was after. I'll show you what I mean. So I can have a little one, and then a taller one, and then maybe just another medium one just tucked in there. And over here I'll have a tall one, and another, and then a really little one. So you can see I've got two groupings of trees there. So if I peel this off, you can see now they're sitting on the hill line. And I forgot to put the mat under it. Good thing that's stamped well, so I'll put the mat under it now. Now we're going to take our little house and ink that up. Now I'm going to place that just in here. Doesn't matter if the trees go over the top of the other trees. Right there. And press down so you get good coverage. Yep, she's finished. That old washing machine. So we have that. Now I want to place a tree up in here. So I'm going to bring back in my post-it note, and I'm actually going to cover that portion there, because I want it just behind the fence line. I don't want it to come down through. So I'll take this one, and it's going to be slightly off. And I just need to give that a really good press, because you've got to go over past this little lip here. Now we have our tree, and you will see it's just in there. And I'm just going to, I think I might pop a couple of little ones here, but I might actually put this on here to save from getting too much ink all over it. Yes, I know, washing machine, I'm coming. So I'll put just a couple of little trees here. Oh, there's some ink up there. I need to move that before I get it everywhere. And another little one next to it. And then when I lift it off, if I get a tissue, those extra bits, I could just wipe the excess off so I don't get that everywhere. And now we will peel the back off, peel the front off. My problem is I end up with ink on my hands and I get ink everywhere. So that is how it will look. And then here I'm going to stamp my Merry Christmas. And this little bit measures, what did I write down? 2.5 by 1/2 inch. And the matting piece is 2 5/8 by 5/8 of an inch. It's got a bit of a curve in it. It's been sitting in my scrap box for ages. There we go. And I'll just adhere that to the back. There we go. And that'll go onto the front. And on the top here, I just want to add a few leaves. So I'm just going to take that extra bit that I cut off. And what I want to do is just shut these up before I make a bigger mess. I'm going to take the tree and I want it to look like I'm looking through a bough of a tree, like branches. So it gives me that effect in the top corner. Poor old Matt. Right. Now we're going to adhere that to the front of our card. If I don't put the lid on that, there really will be trouble. Put that on there like so. Then I'm going to 3D foam that onto the front of the card. Make sure my card is opening the right, and I've got ink on it. Oh my God, could you believe it? Please, hopefully it covers it. Oh, and it's on upside down. Oh my gosh! Oh, I'm going to throw myself under a bus. Well, at least that covers up that mess. Right, now I'm going to stick the front, this bit on. I'm going to just cut one of these. Crikeys. I'm not doing very well, am I? Right. Put this on underneath. Hopefully that's straight. Gosh. Now we're just going to take some of our stickles. We're just going to gently just give it a little bit of a colour in. Don't be too pedantic with it. All it is just adding a little glisten to the trees. And I want a little bit here on the house. And a little bit here. And there we have it. That's our card finished. So it didn't take too long to make. And now all I have to do is let the Kindy Glitz dry. It's not Kindy Glitz, it's Stickles. I don't know why I keep saying that. Stickles, Stickles, Stickles. So that's what we've used, Stickles. And let that dry, and that's our card. So I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial today. Feel free to pop over to my blog for any sizes. There'll be pictures and everything over there. It's at colesyscraftycorner.wordpress.com. And I'd love for you to have a go at a card like this. It's beautiful. But do have a look at Samantha Clayton's. I will link to her blog so you can see her originals. They are just stunning. So till next time, keep on creating, and bye for now.